Dr. Hartwig, is there any evidence that over the past quarter century, insurance companies have had an increased failure rate because of climate change?
In fact, there's no evidence that over the past quarter century that there has been any increase in the failure rate, the rate of insolvencies, the rate of impairment, as we typically refer to it, with respect to property casualty insurance or reinsurance companies as a result of climate change, or quite frankly, for any other manner. The insolvency rate, the impairment rate of insurers has actually fallen dramatically over the past quarter century. So what this shows is that insurers have done a good job of managing this risk. What insurers are doing is trying to make insurance available everywhere that they can, but they can only do so if they can earn a fair rate of return. Going back to the figures that Professor Keyes just showed, as he acknowledged in his testimony, that the numbers overall are very, very heavily influenced by Florida and California. Okay, and when we look at those two states have structural issues with respect to, I'll take Florida for example, absolutely rampant legal abuse in the system that drove up system costs and was in fact the principal factor associated with the impairment of a number of insurance companies in that state, okay, leading to an explosive growth in the state's market of last resort. Very fortunately, we've had a series of reforms in recent years, and in fact, Chart 2, Exhibit 2 in my testimony, what you see is that the non-renewal rate in Florida in fact, seems to have peaked at around 3%, even went down slightly in 2023. Those reforms took place in 2022, at the very end of 2022, so are really bearing fruit just this year. So I expect to see, in fact, the non-renewal rates in states like Florida fall. California has been a bit slower. They've been slow to come around to the realization of reform. They finally signed on to that. Some of those reforms will go into place in 2025. Some of them went into place this year. We would expect to see a turnaround there. And in both states, we are seeing insurers signal that they are coming back into the marketplace as a result of the reforms. They're not talking about climate. They're talking about the obstacles to writing coverage in these states is related to the legal environment associated with those states,